and you're able to heal and really see the monster that they are, they know that they've lost you for good. And they don't want that. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Naila Abdullah. I'm a mental health therapist turned toxic relationship coach. And after overcoming my own personal experiences with toxic family and romantic relationships, I work with women like you, helping you to heal after toxic or narcissistic relationships in order to move on, to rebuild your life, and essentially break the pattern of toxic relationships for good. So if that sounds like what you need, stick around and let's get into this topic. Yes, I see this over and over where the toxic or narcissistic ex still wants to be friends. Some of them may say it openly, okay, let's just be friends. Or they may not say it, but their behavior might show it. And what does that look like? They will still give you calls once in a while. They may still send you a text message once in a while. They may say, oh, I'm just calling to check in. They still have to hold some type of contact with you, even though the relationship has ended. And if there's children involved, they may still try to have conversations with you and do things with you outside of what's related to the children. Now, yes, that is normal and that is healthy with healthy people, with normal breakups where, things just didn't work out. But we're not talking about normal people. We're not talking about normal situations. We are talking about exes who are narcissistic or have narcissistic traits, who you have deemed as toxic because they were destructive to your mental health, to your emotional and psychological health. They were manipulative. Okay, so we are not talking about normal situations. These are the type of people we are talking about. So yes, being friends with them still, I'm sure, raises a concern for you, which is why you're here today. So let's talk about the reasons why they still want to be friends, whether they ask openly or not, or they're just behaving that way. And if you know me by now, you know I don't only want to talk about why they're doing what they're doing and talking about them, but in order to heal, in order to become a new person, to rebuild from this experience, you also need to look at self. So we're not only going to talk about them, but stick around because we're also going to talk about what you need to do now once we've understood some reasons of why they want to be friends. So all of the reasons that we're talking about revolves around their need for control. People who have narcissistic traits, who are toxic, they are manipulative and they need to be able to control you. That feeds their ego. That's what they need. So the first reason I want you to be aware of why the toxic or narcissistic ex still wants to be friends is because they still want to be able to have access to you. In order to control you, they need to be able to have access to you. So if you were to break up and cut off all communication with them, or again, if there's children involved and you have very basic minimal contact only concerning the children, maybe only by text message or email, that is cutting off their access. They can't get into you. They cannot get into your mind. They cannot manipulate you. They don't have access to you, and that ruins their control. So in order to still have access to you, in order to still control you, the next best option, if they're not in a romantic relationship with you, is to be friends. Another reason why they may still want to be friends, the toxic or narcissistic ex may still want to be friends, is to cause confusion for you. Causing confusion for you, keeping you in limbo, making you feel like maybe there's still some hope, keeping you distracted, allows them to still have control over you. They may also try to implement some type of sexual relations with you, because that will keep you also confused. Listen, there's many different strategies that manipulative people use to be able to control you. And many of them are unknown and subtle, which is why women or men, but I'm typically speaking to women, get caught up in these situations. Keeping you confused keeps you in a state of fog. You're not able to think clearly, and you may not see it while you're in it, but when you get out, this is why it's so crucial to go no contact after leaving an abusive relationship. An abusive, we're talking about emotional abuse, psychological abuse. It's still abusive. It's still distressing on your psyche. It's still breaking you emotionally and psychologically. This is something major that you have to recover from, that you have to heal from. So before you get to that phase of healing, when you're in a fog, when you're confused, you're still letting them in. You're still not making the best decisions for yourself because you are confused. You are in limbo, right? Some of you may still have hope that they may change, that they may go back to the nice person that they were. And I do air quotes because that person that you saw in the beginning was not the real them. That was an act. That was a mask to reel you in until they got you where they needed you to be so that they can really show who they are. And speaking of distracted, the other reason they want to still be friends with you is because being distracted, you don't have time to meet someone new. They don't want you to be available to meet someone new. They know that if you get a taste of a healthy relationship, of a good person, if you get out of that fog completely detached and you're able to heal and really see the monster that they are, they know that they've lost you for good. And they don't want that. They do not want that. They know the high value person that you are. They picked you because of the high value person that you are. Yes, I said pick. This was not a coincidence. This relationship was not a coincidence. They strategically pick out the people that they think is going to feed their ego, that is going to give them the supply that they need. They need to be attached to people of high value. They will never get someone that is disastrous, destructive as they are. In some cases, you may see two narcissists or two toxic people together, but most of the time they are picking someone that is the complete opposite of them. And that is why they still want to be friends. They want to keep you distracted. They don't want you to be available for someone new in a new healthy relationship. They don't want you to heal to be able to start a new healthy relationship. Now, I want you to be honest with yourself for a moment. I know that, and I'm speaking from a place of personal experience too, so I'm not here judging you, but I want you to be honest with yourself that yes, it would be nice to have an amicable split. No one gets in a romantic relationship in the first place to split, right? That's not the goal. The goal is not to get together to then break up. But if it does end, the next best option is for it to be an amicable split. But again, this is not a normal situation. This is not a healthy individual that you have just decided is not a good situation. So being friends with them, as we've just spoken about, is only in their benefit. It's only in their benefit. And if you really want to be honest with yourself, yes, it would be nice, but it's not real, for one, because the definition of friend is to have a mutual and healthy bond with someone. There's nothing healthy about this situation. There's nothing healthy about this person. There's also nothing mutual about this person, because mutual mean you have the same intentions, right? But that's not the case here. Their motive, their intentions is to control you, is to take whatever they need to get out of you, whether it's something tangible, materialistic, whether it be money, status, just the comfort of being with you, right? And you may not see it, but again, they picked you because you have great qualities. Being connected to you is a blessing, right? They get a lot out of it. You may not see it, it may not be tangible, but just the person that you are, the light that you exude, the positivity that you exude, right? The support that you give. There's a lot of characteristics about you may not be able to see, but it is a benefit to be with you, right? So they have their reasons why they want to be with you. And even though anyone may want to be around you because of those great qualities that we just spoke about, they're not going to cherish it. They're not going to honor it. They're going to take it and then break you, right? Basically like a parasite. They're just there to take. So there's nothing mutual in this situation here. There's nothing healthy, there's nothing mutual. So that does not fit the real definition of friends. Another thing I want you to be aware of when we talk about, okay, what's my role now that I know why they want to be friends, is that sometimes we are going along with things because it's what someone else wants. Right? Again, maybe they come to you and they say, let's be friends, or maybe they just behave that way. But we need to stop going along with people with what they want. You have to live intentionally, right? You have to make decisions intentionally. You have to make logical decisions. Is it logical to be with someone or be connected with someone or allow them to have access to you if they have proven to be unhealthy for you, if they have broken you over and over, if they have caused you ongoing distress? Ongoing doesn't mean there weren't nice moments, there weren't good moments. Of course, in all abusive relationships, there's good moments. But generally speaking, if this person was destructive to your psychological or emotional health, is it logical to still allow them to have access to you? Is it an intentional decision, or is it just you going along with what someone else wants? So that is something that I encourage you to do. And that is a common trait that I see amongst many people, is that you're just going along with relationships because they're there and because the person is offering it. But it's okay to be selective. It's okay to say, okay, that's what you want, but is this good for me? Is this what I want? The other part to that is that because you are such a great person, you don't want to seem mean. You don't want to seem angry. You don't want to seem bitter. So you think by being friends still that you will come off as healed and unbothered, as healed and not angry. You can be healed and still deny someone's access to you. That is actually part of healing, is that you are now confident in setting boundaries. You are now confident and being okay with someone being upset with your decision to deny access to you. If you are here on my channel, more than likely we have quite a bit in common. And one of the things about me, and possibly about you as well, is that I'm all about personal development. And one of the things I've noticed in learning and developing is that sometimes we need to hear the same message more than one time, more than 2 times, several times. So if any of this resonates with you, if you see yourself experiencing some of this, go ahead and rewatch this. Look at the reasons why. Look at what you need to do to overcome and to make sure that they're not manipulating you into a situation that is really more in their interest, best interest, and not in yours. I hope this episode is helpful for you. If it was, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and share it with that one person that you know needs to hear this message. And if you can't wait for my next YouTube episode, go ahead and find me on Instagram. It's in the description box below, the link to my Instagram, where we also discuss these topics, and we also discuss them live, where you can hop on and ask any questions live. And like I said, I've been through these situations myself outside of my professional experience. So go ahead and also get access to my ebook. I wrote an ebook about mistakes that I made that you need to avoid with toxic relationships. And that applies to people who are still in the toxic relationship or have already ended the toxic relationship. So go ahead and get access to that free ebook right now. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next episode.